Alright, here we go, guys. So, he is a Dutchman, but he is not a Futchman. He likes to explore the world and extract salt out of people with his Reapers and multi-prong harass. One of the few pro gamers who doesn't use camera location hotkeys because, and I quote, I just couldn't get used to it. It is liquid thermal, liquid Uthermal, liquid thermi. I don't know what the fuck we're going to call him. We're just going to call him Uthermal. That's what I tend to call him, but Team Liquid's Uthermal. Beautiful, beautiful introduction there. You know, I'll probably just cut the YouTube video from there. So I'll be like, Uthermal! It is 100 USD Showmatch, guys. To celebrate, of course, hitting 400 subs. Said I was going to get a whole bunch of Show Pro matches. Show Pro matches? Show Pro match. I was going to get a whole bunch of Pro Show matches. We're going to do this. Down here in the bottom right-hand side, in the red. Is he on a team at the moment? Guys, does Rickard have a team at the moment? I'm gonna look that up. He had a few really amazing. I think he's on Revolution. I think at the moment. Let me check. Is he currently on a team? No, he's currently teamless according to Wikipedia. Good. It is Sortof. Now, part of why I wanted Sortof to play this show match, guys. Apparently, Uthermal's using location hotkeys for a while now. Says Eon Blue. I don't know, man. 6 months ago, he wasn't. Pretty sure the last time I spoke to a Uthermal about it was like in the last 6 months. Better double check that one, Eon Blue. Better double check. I'm pretty sure I've teased him quite a bit about this. So almost as much as I've teased Bunny about fucking using the default mouse acceleration built into Windows. Nice micro here from this Reaper, already forcing 2 extractor tricks, denying a good amount of mining time. That being said, oh, sort of. Got to cancel those extractors. Does cancel those, and then he's gonna. Oh, Uthermal gets up here just as this drone that was hidden tries to get on that third base. Really annoying now. This drone going to be completely denied. And this Reaper, I think he's trying to bait that to cancel. Yeah, he wants it to cancel. He wants to jump down and kill the drone because it is so low on hit points. So the Queen's going to start working her way over there, sort of desperate to get this base down. Of course, with this style from Zerg, it's all about optimizing your mining. You want to try and get all of your extra drones on this third mining as quickly as possible. And the thing is, the longer this gets delayed, the more Uthermal stops that from being an option. Nice Queen positioning on the high ground here. He's going to be a real pain in the ass, but this Queen very slow. She's kind of blocking the hatchery right now. Great control from Uthermal. God, he's such a dick. And yep, he's going to delay that hatchery up until almost when Ling speed is finished, pretty much the normal timing. So great control here from Uthermal. And as I was saying before, guys, the big reason why I'm so keen to see Sortof in this match is what's the big thing Terran players are complaining about right now? Hell, it's this little thing called Hydraling Bane. And guess what? Sortof was using that composition in Heart of the Swarm. Back when a lot of players were struggling with Widow Mines in Heart of the Swarm, and even after they thought they'd all figured it out with Mutalisk and Ling Bane play, Sortof was the one guy who said, you know what? Hydras are better. Hydras are stronger. They can outrange the Widow Mines. They can just focus them down. It's really hard for the Terran to attack into Hydraling Bane. And for a long time, Sortof, as a top pro gamer, only used Hydra Zergling Baneling. Now Hydras have been buffed a lot. They've got way more move speed off creep, as well as way more move speed on creep. Back in those days, you didn't have any move speed increase whatsoever for Hydralisks. On creep, they didn't move any faster. Or did they? No, they did move faster on creep. It was when the move speed upgrade came in, it didn't give them a buff on creep. It only gave them off creep. Trying to remember the order of the balance patches here. So basically, they just didn't have any sort of move speed upgrade off creeps. They were always bloody slow off creep. And yeah, they didn't have the 10 hit point buff either. So 10 hit points later, a shit ton more movement speed, both on and off creep once they get their upgrade. And of course, that upgrade is rolled in with the range upgrade. So it's effectively just as expensive to get the Hydras as it was back in Sortof's Heart of the Swarm heyday. And yet, they've just become even stronger now. Interestingly, Uthermal is going to be, of course, playing Mech here. So we're going to have to see if Sortof is going to play a Swarm Host Hydraling Bane style, or if he's going to go for the more classic kind of Roach Hydra Viper into Broodlord style. I mean, with Bane speed, double Evo going down, it looks like Sortof's going to be going for that Ling Bane opening. Nice spore placement. Ling's in position. Raven not finding an opening just yet. The Uthermal's Viking is doing work. It's about to pick up its 3rd Overlord kill. Oh, that's sick. That's great damage. Raven going to hit the main base as well. Sortof is not positioned for this. Hellions at the front just do a bit of a distraction. They poke in, roast a few Hellions. Auto turret goes down, and look at that. Focus fires one drone down. Doesn't look like you'll get too much more. Just 4 Zerglings and a drone. Not too bad. Hellions at the front continuing to be annoying. Uthermal here, actually very ballsy with that positioning. Is going to make a Hellbat morph, but he doesn't want to sacrifice these. You'll notice he's just trying to be as annoying as possible. Another auto turret comes in, and that is going to pick off 1 more drone as well as a few more Zerglings. So just being as annoying as possible. Here is Uthermal. Remember, there's no Banelings out right now, just 6 Queens. These Hellbats going to try and get some damage done. There's a decent Queen count here. Zerglings coming in. The Hellbats are clumped up. Oh, the Zerglings actually not being focus fired by the Hellbats, so they got a ton of damage on the back end of that. Oh, Uthermal there. He was actually focus firing the Queens, which only got 1 Queen. You've really got to make sure your Hellbats actually change their targeting onto the Zerglings by moving them towards the Zerglings and then A-moving, or by manually focus firing. Otherwise, the Lings will roast them up. There's that very rare occurrence where every Hellbat is shooting in one direction and the Zerglings are attacking from the other direction, and it actually messes them up really hard. So pretty good harassment so far from Uthermal. I gotta say, I think he's looking pretty good, and he's already got the double Thor drop on the way. Now this is the move which has been giving Zerg players so much trouble, and Hydra production is only now starting. There's no Hydras out, just 7 Queens and a couple of Zerglings. These Thors are going to look for the cancel on this 4th base. Now, the thing is, Uthermal doesn't know where that 4th is yet, so he's going to go to the wrong location first. But if he just comes down here, I can't imagine these Hydras are going to be out early enough to stop it. The Hydra upgrade is still about a minute away. Uthermal going to come in here, going to start to clear creep, and he sees that hatchery. Yeah, he's going to think about going for it. He is deep on creep, though, so he knows it's very risky to do this. Does scan ahead, sees the Queens and Hydras starting to come out. And he's going to start trying to focus that hatchery down. If he can get that hatchery, it's going to be very nice. But here we go. Oh, Hellions coming in. Those Hydras get focus fired down. The Thors and Hellions actually doing a really good job. Hellbat's even going to morph here. Yeah, Sortof is in big trouble. He needs this 4th base gas geysers so badly, but he's losing so many units right now. Needs these Hydra upgrades to finish, but they're not quite there. The Hellbats are finally going to start to get focused down. The Queens and Hydras running forward. The Thor focus fire here from Uthermal, though. You'll notice he's not focusing on the Queens. He's focusing on these Hydras whenever he can with those Thors. And there we go. Those Hellbats still alive. The medevac healing has been fantastic. A couple Hydralisks are filtering in from behind. The Thors stand strong. 1 with 10 kills, 1 with 18 kills. And I think this double Thor is about to take Sortof out of this game. Just too much damage. Oh my god. And both Thors get out of there. That is just gross. This Hydra, he's hot on the tail. Is he going to be able to catch it? The Hydra upgrade has finished, but oh, he pathed around that terrain a little bit awkwardly. Might have just barely been able to catch that as the boost ran out. But behind that, Uthermal has a 4th base. He's got tanks, 2-2 on the way. Blue Flame is on the way. Single reacted starport, building Vikings, a ton of factories, and Uthermal here in a bloody great position. Meanwhile, Sortof just on Hydras, couple of Zerglings, not a great drone count. Uthermal does scan the main, sees the hive timing. He says, okay, your hive's on the way. Of course, he can't see how far along that hive is, he just knows it's upgrading. But this does tell him, okay, I know how long I've got until Vipers come out. We see Viking production has already started. There's already 3 out, soon to be 5 Vikings, which are going to provide some defense against that. And it looks like Swarm Hosts have been skipped so far for Sortof. Now, I'm not sure if it's just because he's behind and he realizes he can't really afford to go to them, or if it's an optional thing where Sortof actually says, you know what, I prefer to get Vipers out first and then go the Swarm Hosts, or just maybe even straight into Broodlords. Could be kind of a combination of both Rogues and Darks anti-mech styles. You know, kind of like the Roach Hydra Viper into Broodlord, just minus the Roaches. As Roaches do get smashed by the new Siege tanks. Of course, Siege tanks with their armored damage. Absolutely devastating these days. Now, Sortof's taken this base. One problem with this is one frontal push kind of between these 2 bases is going to shut down both of his expansions. He doesn't really have anywhere to run. Oh! Roasty toasty Hellions fuck up a bunch of Hydras. Uthermal's in trouble, man. I mean, sorry, Sortof's in trouble. Uthermal's bloody decisively pushing in. I don't see any way for Sortof to stop this. The first 2 Vipers are about to pop. There's a couple Evo chambers here. They're just going to go down. Look at this spread on these units from Uthermal. There's just no way for Sortof to fight this. As I was saying, I don't think Sortof should have taken this base. I think he should have known that he was behind, taken the base in the top right, and he should have been looking to counterattack and kind of base trade and cut off reinforcements, as opposed to fighting this army front on. Especially here on Abyssal Reef, where it's so choky, it's just so hard. He's going to go in, drops 1, maybe 2 Blinding Clouds kind of right on top of each other. The Hydras just get smashed, though. Uthermal, way too much damage early on. Rolls over the top. GG, well played. We got a 1-bit cheer. Jimsock flicks a coin into the fountain, hits Pig in the back of the head, and Pig says, thank you. Thank you, Jimsock. Appreciate that. GG. GG, not a bad first game. I like that I wrote down the map order, and then I immediately forgot about it, and I put it down there. So what have we got now? Ascension. So that was the map pick of Uthermal. Uthermal won his map pick. I feel like maps are really decisive in the current meta in TVZ. I feel like Abyssal, interestingly, I kind of thought that it wouldn't be that powerful for Terran. I thought it would be one of the more balanced maps, but interestingly, yeah, Uthermal picking it first up as if it's the strongest map for him. Sort of really struggling with the harassment there. Excuse me. I think right from that very first Reaper, sort of was a bit behind. And then he was so ready for the first Raven when it hit the natural, but it turned around, went into the main, and sort of was just so distracted by the Hellions. He just took too much damage. The combination of the Hellbats distracting him at the third, that hitting the main. And yeah, wasn't quite able to deal with it. All right, they are ready. Good luck, have fun, guys.